Hi, I'm Crafty Patty. Thanks for tuning in. Last year I made some cornstarch and silicone molds which worked really well. And I also made some molds using the easy Mold Silicone Putty. I'll put these links in the description box below in case you want to make this version of a mold. Both these molds gave me a matte finish. This one just slightly shinier, but not much. But what I wanted in my final product was a nice shiny surface. I've since learned that if your mold is matte, your finished product will be matte. And if your mold is shiny, your finished product will be shiny. Makes sense, right? In the first part of this video, I will show you how to make a shiny mold using silicone, water, and dish soap. Go figure, eh? And then I will also show you how to use resin in these molds to make beautiful shiny starfish or whatever you want to make. Yay! Keep watching. I have a 3.5 liter plastic container that I got from the dollar store, and I've added 3 liters of cold water. I am using Dawn soap, but you really don't have to worry about what kind of dish soap. All the dish soap does is it just protects the silicone from sticking to your hands if you prefer to use just hands. I'm going to be using 1/4 cup of the soap. I have put down a piece of freezer paper that I'll be using to place my molds on to dry. And you'll be needing a caulking gun. I'm going to be using a knife to cut off the end of my tube. My particular caulking gun does have a puncturing tool, which is inside the handle. Most caulking guns do have it, so I'll be using that to puncture the inside of the tube, so the silicone will come out. Collect what you want to make your molds up, and I might choose to make one of the molds inside of a cookie cutter, so we're going to try that as well. And the last thing, just a stir stick to stir up your soap into the water. Again, I have 3 liters of water in my container, and I'm putting in 1/4 cup of the Dawn soap. Again, it does not have to be Dawn. The only reason you're using the soap is so the silicone does not stick to your bare hands. I am going to be using the nitrile gloves though. And it's sorry, but it's much better without the gloves. I can understand why people are not using the gloves, because now I can get a real nice substance for the mold here. That's getting nice and pliable. Feels really good. I'm just going to leave that in the water. You know what? These are nitrile gloves, but I don't like this. This is just a pain. So I'm losing the gloves. So these 3 molds on the left were made with the mono silicone. It was the cheaper silicone for about $5 a tube. And these two I made with the Dap silicone. So we'll see what the final reveal is when I go to do a resin pour. The first thing I did to make my resin molds is I've poured water in all of my molds that I made, and I've just been pouring them back into my measuring cup. This is the last one I'm going to pour in. And by pouring those in, I now know I need approximately 1/4 cup of resin. Then I'll just take a paper towel. I'm going to thoroughly dry these out, and then we'll be ready to mix up our resin and do our pour. I like to use the product Art Resin. It's a great product and no odor, so you're fine to work with this indoors. It's a ratio of 1:1, so 1 part A, 1 part B. So let's start to mix up some resin. And I only need 1/4 cup because I'm doing a very small pour today. So I'm only going to need one of these little cups of part A. And the same amount of part B. You'll want to mix this for a full 3 minutes. I'm just going to use my phone here, and I've set it for 3 minutes. And if you wipe your cup out right away, you'll be able to use your cup again. So I just do a quick clean. And now we're ready to go for the next time. I am using the Pinata colorings. These are alcohol inks, and I'm using Magenta. And I believe this is sunbright yellow, and we have baja blue. Here's our final reveal. I've let these dry for actually 2 days. only because I got busy and I didn't get time to get back to them. But 24 hours should cure them in time. If it's still sticky, then let it dry longer. So here's the 3 I made with the cheaper mono silicone, and it's popping out very nicely. And we'll see what our reveal is. And I have a shiny mold, just what I wanted. And just for the experiment, I also put some of the silicone in my old cornstarch mold, which the molds are still really good. Very shiny on the top. Let's take it out. And look at that. A matte mold, you get a matte product. Shiny mold, and you get a shiny product.